Om Bhurбhuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayantam. So namaste everyone. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting question. Okay, meditation, yoga, self-development, and different global Orthodox religions. What is the connection between actually meditation, self-inquiry, self-development, and different religions, including Hindu religion, Buddhist religion, Christian, Jewish, Islamic religion, etc. You know, for thousands of years, actually meditation tradition and different kinds of, self-inquiry, different kinds of really spiritual technology. And the goal of this spiritual technology actually to know thyself and to awake divine consciousness in our spiritual heart. Anyway, all that technologies for centuries and sometimes even for thousands of years basically exist in a field, in a space of different religions. And the question is it proper? Is it useful? Is it beneficial? Is it the way it must be? Or maybe not at all? You see, for example, different branches of yoga, including meditation, in Sanskrit we call it dhyana, mantra, hatha yoga, and pranayama tradition, all that branches of yoga, basically, they existed in the Himalayas for ages. And of course, this area is traditionally a Hindu. And later on, Islamic religion and even later on, even Christian religion came to India, and at the same time, let us be honest, different yogic traditions, including meditation. Anyway, it was the domain of the Hindu ashrams and Hindu people. At the same time, 6 centuries before Jesus the Christ, so it's like 5-6 centuries BC, actually Buddha was born and Mahavira as well. And two great religions like Buddhist religion and a Jain religion came into existence. And both of these religions are also very much connected with meditation and self-inquiry. But my question right now is, for the 21st century people, and especially for the 21st century people, is it proper, is it natural to practice meditation while staying in a certain in a context, let us say, certain religious tradition? Many people, especially Indians and Westerners as well, just even never notice, never mention about the question itself. But really, this is the huge question. For example, if you wish to practice this or that kind of Buddhist meditation, for example, Vipassana, which is part and the essence actually of Theravada Buddhist tradition. And if you wish to practice, true core, Dzogchen, Ati Yoga, this supreme meditation techniques and traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, it looks like that we have to become Buddhist, even to be initiated into certain mantras and the certain breathing exercises like true core, etc., and certain meditation systems of Tibetan Buddhism. The same goes with Kriya Yoga. For example, Lahiri Baba whom we call actually the father of Kriya Yoga, okay, back in 19th century, exactly, through Lahiri Baba, Mahatar Babaji, he re-established the tradition of Kriya Yoga. Okay, Lahiri Baba was a Hindu, and he was actually from Brahmin family. But at the same time, he never emphasized religious aspect of the Kriya Yoga meditation. And we know that some of his disciples could be Muslims, Sikh, Christian, etc. And of course, Hindu. And at the same time, like the next generation of the gurus, I mean Sri Yukteswar, by the way, he was also very much open-minded person, member of Theosophical Society. Sri Yukteswar was really a huge expert in a Christian tradition as well. But at the same time, he became monk. And that's very subtle question, because the moment Sri Yukteswar became monk of Shankaracharya tradition, and we know that it was Giri order, so it means Sri Yukteswar Giri actually. This very moment, actually, the Kriya Yoga became more like a part of Hindu tradition. It's a very subtle question, because if Yogananda also, he was the Hindu monk, member of Swami tradition, the way he described it in his autobiography, this very moment actually he fixed it as the part of the Hindu tradition, because if you are monk, means it can be Christian monk, it can be Buddhist monk, or it can be Hindu monk, and it's impossible to be just monk or just Swami. Anyway, it can be Theravada Buddhist school, it can be Vajrayana Buddhist school, it can be Roman Catholic Christian church, or it can be Shankaracharya order. But I mean, if you become monk or nun, like Dayamata, for example, anyway, you establish your connection with a certain Orthodox tradition. What is interesting about Yogananda, that actually he, in the very end of his life, became Christian. And I think that this is extremely important, that, let me see, now I'm not sure exactly, but something like maybe 6 or 7 years before he left his physical body, actually Yogananda, he was consciously, he chose to be converted into Christian tradition. And actually we even know when it happened, and the name of the Christian priest who actually baptized Yogananda. And by the way, in many Indian Kriya Yoga ashrams, they just hate this information. They deny it completely. They say, no, it's not possible. Yogananda was born as the Hindu, and he was the one who introduced actually the modern approach to the Hindu religion to the Westerners. It's one more very interesting question. That the most great, positive role model for the Yogananda's mission was actually, of course, Swami Vivekananda. And as you remember, Vivekananda was, slightly older than Yogananda, and actually Vivekananda, he completed his spiritual mission, let us say, something like 20 years before actually Yogananda came to the United States. But anyway, Vivekananda was for sure great positive, role model for the young Yogananda. But anyway, Vivekananda was born as the Hindu. He became Hindu monk. He received this initiation from Ramakrishna Paramahamsa himself. And actually Vivekananda was, till the end of his life, was actually Hindu. But Yogananda chose to change his religion. And what is really brilliant, wonderful, that Yogananda, he wrote 2 great commentaries, one to the Bhagavad Gita and another one to the Gospel. And to support his gospel commentaries, he actually became even Christian. And an actually tradition established by Yogananda was really a synthesis. It's a mixture of many things. Just imagine, Yogananda himself became Christian, and all his Western disciples were Christian born. Some of them came from Roman Catholic, some of them from Protestant families, background. But it's interesting, but at the same time, Yogananda himself and his major disciples like Dayamata, Taramata, and of course Swami Kriyananda, they all were actually Hindu monks. Traditional Hindu monks, and that's very interesting phenomenon when tradition of Yogananda itself is mixed because all the swamis, even Western swamis of that community, they're monks of the traditional Shankaracharya Swami order, Giri line. But at the same time, they're not converted into Hindu religion. More than that, they remain to be Christian, and Yogananda himself chose to be converted. So it's very, very interesting. Because, actually it's a very deep question and a not easy one. And for many people, especially in India, it's a painful one. Let me repeat it again. So, what is the connection between meditation, self-inquiry, spirituality, and religions like Hindu, Christian, Buddhist, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, Jain, etc.? That's not an easy question. In the West, I mean to say the United States, Canada, Europe, we can't even imagine that meditation center or meditation community can be part of any religion. We just can't imagine. I mean, if we have a yoga center, a yoga studio, a meditation group, it's, basic idea is that this is beyond any religious tradition, any religious community. And it means that people who can be Christians, and we know that there are, Protestant, Anglican, Catholic, Orthodox, Armenian, etc., different kinds of Christians, and also different kinds of Jewish people, many Jewish traditions, especially there are many of them exist in the United States, and also, at least a few branches in Islamic tradition as well. And all that people actually may just for a while forget about religious context or religious traditions, just come together and meditate. And in a classical Western approach, if we come together and practice any kind of meditation, for example, Kriya Yoga or Vipassana or Zazen or any kind of New Age meditation tradition, so we never discuss, actually religion, because we clearly understand that we are outside, beyond this field. But for India, it's not so easy. All ashrams, we may know about it, we may not know about it, but actually all ashrams in India, we call them, spiritual centers, yoga centers, meditation centers, but the registration itself for all ashrams in India, it's somehow connected with this or that religious tradition. And of course, most of them ashrams in India, they're basically Hindu. Some of them are Buddhist, some of them belong to the Sikh tradition, very few yogic ashrams for the Jain tradition, but basically all of them must to belong to any religion. And normally it depends on to which religion actually the founder belongs. And that's like, if it is like Buddhist master, naturally there's going to be Buddhist meditation retreat. center. If the guru is the Hindu, then naturally it's going to be Hindu one. Maybe we never think about it. I mean, we as the Westerners, when we visit different Indian ashrams, but really religion is behind. And again, my question is it proper? Of course, if I ask these questions, actually one question, better to say not many questions, if I put this question, obviously my point is that this is not really nice. I mean to say, meditation and self-inquiry is so universal, so not a part of religion, not a part of any ethnic tradition, that it's unnatural if, for example, we learn meditation and at the same time we kind of being involved into the religious and ethnic tradition. I mean to say, I spent just right now, maybe like, kind of 30 years in a different ashrams in India, and it's a huge question, like if you learn meditation and come to the Tibetan community, Tibetan center, Dharma center, where is that, border between universal message of Buddha about the true nature of our consciousness, the true message of meditation, love and compassion, and then, quite ethnic Tibetan, culture. Are we ready to see the difference? The same actually happened with Vipassana meditation and Thailand, ethnic tradition, which is wonderful, like I really like, countries like, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, my favorite. But at the same time, when we come to meditation, it's something much more subtle. Of course, I don't want to become a kind of revolutionary personality, and I don't want to introduce any kind of difficult questions and a difficult transformation and the changes, into Indian reality, especially all that registration papers for the ashrams. Let it be the way it is. My question is more spiritual and intellectual. I mean to say, this video may be more interesting for the Westerners. Just let us be conscious about the question itself. But also, I'm very happy that just the last few years, more and more I come across, meet different Indians who are also put basically the same question. I mean, if we speak about meditation, it's not nice if it is a part of religion. And I'm very happy that even a modern generation of Indians, they start to question this situation. Because, why I'm asking this question? Because the social structure, and religion anyway is the part of the social structure, is wonderful, but it's totally different kinds of, different stuff. And if we, or better to say, when we practice meditation, self-inquiry, that's the question of pure divine consciousness. If you wish, soul, consciousness, I amness. And this consciousness, it's not a part of any religion, it's not a part of any ethnic group, and it means pure form of self-inquiry must be free from all that ethnic and religious conditionings. And I mean to say, any kind of ethnic and religious conditioning. It's like meditation is not a Hindu property. The same way, it's not a Buddhist, it's not a Christian, it's not a Jewish, it's just beyond, it's just outside of the religion. That's all. Because consciousness, because soul is not a part of ethnic tradition. Consciousness is not a, copyright or property of any religion. So just in this video, okay, let me complete actually this video for today. And my job was to put this question. Of course, actually, I have shared with you with my vision, but it's at the same time it's a question, and who knows, maybe your answer can be different, but the question is really important. So God bless you. See you next time.